Hello, this is Hector Vladimir. Today is the 17th of February 2025. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to EV News World. And today, Monday, again the 17th of February, I would like to update you on a certain Toyota vehicle model. This is an EV, sometimes called BEV or BEV, battery electric vehicle. And this is, of course, a full electric vehicle from Toyota. It has been out, I believe, since 2022, according to Wikipedia, April 2022. And for that, I'm going to read, just to get you up to date on this exciting, I believe, and quite groundbreaking development from Toyota. Some believe that Toyota is far behind the curve when it comes to EV technology, EV vehicle production. They may be on the volume of vehicles produced that are electric, fully electric, but I suspect that they are not behind the curve when it comes to technology and development in this field. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but Toyota has been producing what some may call a form of electric vehicle, or at least electrified vehicle, since the, I believe, late 1990s, 1997, I believe, that they came up with the Toyota Prius. Of course, it is not, or it was not, a plug-in hybrid at that time. It was a hybrid vehicle, considered to be a marvel of engineering at the time, and still is. I do own a Toyota Prius hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid, sometimes called a PHEV, such as, plug-in hybrid EV. But again, the one I own is not a plug-in, it is a plain hybrid. But I do believe those are somewhat electrified vehicles. They are a far cry from a ICE. I mean, it's undeniable that they do get, per my experience, over 55 miles per gallon of gasoline. And again, this is for the plain hybrid. The plug-in hybrid gets significantly more than that. Do put in the comments if you do own a plug-in hybrid Toyota Prius and what your experience is as far as range. I do not know the exact range. I do not own one, and yes, of course I can look that up, but I'd like to see real world experiences, not controlled environment statistics so much. Those are quite valuable, but real world statistics or data, I believe, is perhaps just as valuable. So the Wikipedia, what you call it, the article, they call them articles, I think, on Wikipedia. A lot of times they're not completely updated. Yes, I understand, but they do provide a pretty good background. And since this is an introductory video on the Toyota BZ4 X, or simply called BZ4, not the most original name, but perhaps a perhaps a low-level person at Toyota came up with the name. Maybe not, maybe it was the chief engineer, who knows. But a lot of people dislike the name. I mean, there may be a background to it. But that's unimportant, I believe. people would probably get used to it. So the article goes, the Toyota BZ4X, I believe the X has been dropped. Do comment if that's not the case in some areas or countries. So the Toyota BZ4X also marketed in Japan, Australia, the US, Canada, Europe, and China as the Subaru Solterra is a battery electric compact crossover SUV manufactured by Toyota. The vehicle debuted in April 2021 as the BZ4X concept. It is the first vehicle to be based on the eTNGA platform, co-developed by Toyota and Subaru, and the brand's first model to be part of their Toyota BZ, that is Beyond Zero. So that's what the BZ stands for. Series of zero emission vehicles. The zero, I guess, for zero emissions. So continuing with the article, worldwide sales of the BZ4X started out in mid-2022, with production planned in Japan and China. Sales in the United States also started in 2022. Toyota has also stated that there will be 7 BZ models to be launched globally by 2025. Just as a side note, I guess they are on schedule because I just witnessed a pretty good amount of BZ4s at the local dealership, Toyota dealership here in town. I've seen about 4 on the parking lots on their dealer car lot, which was quite refreshing to see, along with some plug-in hybrids such as the Prius, and even I believe I saw a Toyota Corolla that was hybrid, which again, those things are refreshing to see in a area that perhaps EVs are not completely, embraced, to say the least. So continuing with the article, according to Toyota, the meaning of the BZ4X nameplate breaks down into BZ for Beyond Zero Emissions, representing the nature of the battery electric vehicle by going beyond zero emissions. 4 for the equivalent sized Toyota RAV4, and the X describing that it is a compact crossover SUV. Overview: the design of the BZ4X was previewed by pictures of a series of electric concept vehicles released by Toyota in June 2019. The company highlighted the plan to release 6 electric vehicles between 2020 and 2025 using the TNGA platform. The vehicle also was previewed by Subaru, which is developing the vehicle with Toyota as a concept mock-up, showcasing a similar concept design in January 2020. The BZ4 concept was revealed on 19th April 2021 and was presented in Auto Shanghai the same day. While it is revealed as a concept vehicle, the vehicle appeared to be nearly production ready. The BZ4X is similar in size to the RAV4, but stood lower with sharper styling and a longer wheelbase that matches the larger Highlanders. The vehicle has been developed in conjunction with Subaru, which is said to have had input into the car's all-wheel drive system. And the article continues. Design: the total length 4,690 millimeters, that is 185 inches, is comparable to a RAV4, the X Alpha 50, but the wheelbase of the 2850 millimeter or 112 inches is similar to that of the Land Cruiser, the J300, giving the BZ4X a large interior space. The ENTGA platform was jointly developed by Toyota and Subaru, with Toyota receiving credit for battery and e-axle development, and Subaru for the all-wheel drive control and collision safety. In some markets, the BZ4X is available with an optional steer-by-wire system. The steer-by-wire system was developed for the Chinese markets and will be available with a yoke in lieu of a conventional steering wheel. Combined with the low instrument panel, Toyota stated the yoke provides a more open interior. And there are some photos of the vehicle. I believe the design has probably changed slightly, maybe, for the 2025 model year. There's a photo also of the interior. The article continues. Powertrains. The BZ4X is powered by the e-axle, which integrates an electric motor, gears, and inverter, and is built with Blue E Nexus, a joint venture of Toyota Group companies Aisin and Denso, which with investment from Toyota Motor. Front-wheel drive models use a single 1XM model e-axle that produces 150 kilowatt, that is 201 horsepower, or 204 PS, while in all-wheel drive models use the twin 1YM model e-axles that each produce 80 kilowatts, 107 horsepower, that is 109 PS, for a combined output of 160 kilowatts, that's 215 horsepower, 218 PS. The PS, I am not sure what that stands for. Do put that in the comments if you do know what PS stands for. So the front wheel drive models have an estimated range of 510 kilometers, that is 317 miles, and a 0 to 100 kilometer per hour that is 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 7.5 seconds. While all-wheel drive models have an estimated range of 460 kilometers, that's 286 miles, and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 0 to 62 miles per hour time in 6.9 seconds. On AWD, that's all-wheel drive models, the X mode and AWD system from Subaru is borrowed from the Subaru Forester. From front-wheel drive models have a 71.4 kilowatt-hour battery. That's a kilowatt-hour battery of 71.4, built by Prime Planet Energy and Solutions, PPES, a joint venture between Toyota and Panasonic. All-wheel drive models for the North American market have a 72.8 kilowatt-hour battery, built by CATL. Both models are a 355 volt pack that accept DC fast charging at a maximum rate of charging of 150 kilowatts for front wheel drive models, or 100 kilowatts for all wheel drive models. Using a fast charger can charge the PPES pack up to 80% capacity in 30 minutes, and that would be probably from 10% to 80% in 30 minutes. And an optional rooftop solar panel system may generate electricity to drive the vehicle for at least 1,800 kilometers. That is 1,100 miles per year. The battery is estimated to retain 90% of its original capacity over a 10-year period. The car can act as a power supply in V2H or V2L fashion. There is a chart here that I'll probably post that you can take a look at with some information, some statistics, specs, specifications for the, let's say, the forward wheel drive. The chassis code is given. The electric motor is a 1X Blue Nexus E-axle 1XM. Its power is 150 kilowatts, 201 horsepower, 204 PS. Its torque is 266 Nms. I believe that's newtons, and that's 196 foot-pounds. The range, as the WLTC, I believe that is not the North American standard, perhaps the Asian standard, is 567 kilometers, which is 352 miles. For the all-wheel drive model, the chassis code is given as YEAM15. The electric motor is a 2X Blue Nexus E-axle 1YM. Its power is 80 kilowatts or 107 horsepower, 109 PS per motor. Presumably it has two, and total would be 160 kilowatts, 215 horsepower, 218 PS. Its torque, this is for the all-wheel drive, is 338 newtons or Nms, and that is 249 foot-pounds. The range for it is a bit less, from 487 to 542 kilometers. That is 303 to 337 miles. And the article goes into some details as far as its markets in Japan, North America, Europe, Southeast Asia, Australia, China. And of course, as I mentioned, this vehicle is available here in the US, including here in the Southeast US. Subaru Solterra, which is the Subaru badged version of the vehicle, is sold by Subaru. The name Solterra derives from Sol, which is a word for sun, and terra, a word for earth. Featuring a minor exterior redesign, it uses the same E and TGA platform rebranded for the Subaru Global Platform, or ESGP. The Solterra went on sale in mid-2022 in Japan, US, Canada, Europe, and China. In Japan, the Solterra is offered in ET-SS, that is the forward wheel drive and the all-wheel drive, and the ET-HS, the all-wheel drive only grade levels, which is equipped with an adaptive safety system marketed as Subaru Safety Sense as standard. That is quite refreshing. Unlike the BZ4X in Japan, the Solterra is available for purchase. And the all-important safety: on June 2022, Toyota and Subaru recalled 2,700 BZ4Xs and 2,600 Solterras due to the possibility that wheels could come loose. They also halted production and sales of any new models. That was back in June 2022. In October 2022, Toyota reported they had found a fix to the loose wheel and recall, and resumed production of the BZ4X. The BZ4X and Solterra achieved a 5-star JNCAP rating from Japan's National Agency for Automotive Safety and Victims Aid, the NASVA, for comprehensive safety performance based on testing conducted on a Subaru Solterra. That is interesting and refreshing as well. There is a chart here, presumably from the NASVA New Car Assessment 2022 Toyota BZ4X, and it has a few categories: collision and safety performance, A for the score, 87%; preventive safety performance, A, 99%; comprehensive safety performance, 93%; overall evaluation, 5 stars. So it appears that scores were pretty high for all those safety categories. The BZ4 and the Solterra also achieved a 5-star 2022 Euro NCAP rating. And there are some more results which are a bit less but pretty high, I believe, still, for the Euro NCAP test results. The overall was 5 stars. Adult occupant points were 33.7, 88%. Child occupant was 43 points, 87%. Pedestrian was 42.8 points, 79%. Safety assist, 14.7 points, or 91%. The sales section of the article, there are some figures that are missing from 2022 in Europe. Quite a bit of units sold. I believe in Europe it sold the best according to this chart, with 2,382 units sold in Europe. That is 2022. In 2023, Europe led the way also in units, 19,000 plus units. And in 2024, in the US is the only place that it sold that year model, I believe, with 18,000 units, 570. Not too bad. There are some sales figures for the Subaru Solterra edition, and that is the article. I hope that was quite an eye opener for many of us. And again, this model, this electric vehicle model, fully electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle from Toyota, may be a sight to see or something very new and unusual for many. Its design is, I think, quite appealing. I believe it doesn't depart too much from the Toyota design signature. I believe it kind of sticks to the current Toyota design signature, especially the 2024-2025 design signature from Toyota. It's got pretty sharp edges. I'll put a picture on the chat or the video where I put this. It's got the nice proportions. I believe it's a 4-door, of course, and it has the plug in for the electric plug on the front quarter panel of the vehicle. That's the driver's side forward, so you probably will have to pull into chargers, not back into them. You would have to pull in, driving forward, which is probably safer to do. So looking at the design also, the wheels are not necessarily super aerodynamic, such as the ones on Teslas and such. The vehicle itself is not super aerodynamic, I don't believe. The coefficient, the drag coefficient ratio, I'm not sure what it is. Do put that on the comments if you do know. But I suspect it's not probably one of the greatest. It has pretty large side mirrors, looks like, and the vehicle itself looks pretty rugged. It's not your average very sleek SUV or electric vehicle. So do look at the photo and tell me what you think on the comments. I would appreciate any comments. Thank you very much. Do subscribe. That helps out to grow the channel and also to share this information to many other people. Thank you very much.